Hey guys, I just wanted to do a quick shout out to all my new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. It's really nice to have you here, and um, wow, that's awesome. So, anyways, today I thought I'd do a really quick video about how to do a kind of a soft cover, squishy cover, and maybe I'll do how to sew the signatures into that later, but today we're just going to do the cover. Let me grab an example really quick. Okay, so this is my crochet book. I have a flip through of this if anybody's interested to see that. But basically it just is a really nice floppy squishy cover, and then I crocheted a bunch of flowers and glued those on top. So I'm going to show you how to make a nice like bendy squishy cover like this. And then if you crochet, you can glue that on top, or you can just use pattern fabric for the top, whatever you want. So if you are interested in learning how to do that, stay tuned. What you'll need is, I just used this foam that I got from like a package from Amazon, but I think you can use that like crafting foam, like kid foam stuff. I don't really know exactly what it's called, but it's like a foam like sheet that you can buy for pretty cheap. But if you have any of this, it works great. So what you want to do first is go ahead and cut a piece to size. So if you want to book about the size, you know, keep in mind the spine is going to end up being a little fatter. Actually, it might work better if you make the signatures first and then fit them in here, but I'm not doing that today. So you'll need a piece of foam, and then you need 2 pieces of fabric. So one for the inside and one for the outside. And the inside one I like to be like decorated like this one. It's like a sewing theme. For this journal, I just used an old bed sheet for the outside because you can't see it anyway, because I covered it. But if you're not planning to cover it, I would use like a nicer fabric. I'm just going to use this purple today, and I'm going to use this for the inside. So first thing you want to do is take whatever color you want on the outside. Sorry if you hear that rumbling. There's like a thunderstorm happening right now. I'm not really sure why I chose to do this today, but you know. So basically I'm going to cut this here. And then I'm just trying to make it like a little bit big. Then I'm going to cut it just about here. I wonder if I can rip this fabric. It might be easier. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. There we go. So that'll be the outside, and then we need to cut a piece for the inside. But you know what, I'll do that after. So next you're going to need a sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can just go ahead and glue this on, and then we're going to... Oop. My light's flickering. See? I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and glue the corners so it doesn't move around when I'm trying to sew it. Alright, just a little bit of glue in the corners, line this up, and then we'll stick the corners down. See, this isn't a very exact measurement or anything. I think I said in the video where I did the flip through, I'm pretty sure I made up this technique. I didn't watch any videos of it. I mean, somebody probably has done it before, but I haven't seen any videos about it. I just kind of was winging it when I did it. So, anyways, so I hope this inspires people. I'm going to just bring out my sewing machine. Okay. Make sure you can see it. Then what we're gonna do is fold down one side like this. Now make sure when you're sewing you don't sew directly onto this foam. I did that the first time and my sewing machine just like really resisted it and hated it, so be careful of that. And I'm just gonna put this on a zigzag. It already is on one. We're just gonna run it through. Okay, now I'm just gonna turn this fabric in like this and keep going along this side. Now you're going to want to make sure this is tight. And then same thing, just fold this. We're going to fold this. Actually, I'm going to take this out for a second because something's happening here. You know what, you should do yourself a favor and just glue this whole thing down better when you do yours, because that would save you a lot of trouble, I think. Okay, stick this in. Now this doesn't have to look good because we're going to cover it up, so. Now we'll just do the last side. See, I would have ironed this, but I'm going to end up covering it anyway, so it really doesn't matter. If you are using this as your cover, definitely do a better job than I'm doing. You can hear it squeaking because my sewing machine doesn't like it. There we go. Just cut off all of this garbage. Now, I'm not doing a very neat job, but when I make these, they're like for like kind of a crafting journal, so I don't like them to be like super neat, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. They're like artsy, if that makes sense. So then you have your cover. So this is the outside. Obviously, I did a terrible job sewing. Like, I'm not that good at sewing, but if you are, maybe making this your actual cover and not covering it, maybe glue it down a little bit first, and then do a neater job sewing around. I just wanted to do a really quick, ooh, almost fell. I just wanted to do a really quick, show you guys how to do it, and then you can obviously improve on it. I'm just afraid like my power is gonna go out or something, so I'm just rushing a little bit. Okay, so next we need a size, and we want this to be pretty close to the inside here. If it's a little smaller, then that's okay. Okie dokie. And then, you know what? I'm going to be good this time. I'm just going to glue this down. Just use a bit of a glue stick because we're sewing it, so it doesn't have to be mega held down, but save ourselves from it shifting and stuff. So line that up like so. Maybe move it over a bit, stretch it out. Okay, I did a terrible job with that. Okie doke, that's better. There we go. I guess I just need to trim a little bit of this off. Okay, so once you have that on, we're just going to do the same thing and go around and sew it on. Well, I'm doing just a terrible job with this tutorial. Okay. Now, hopefully yours doesn't look as terrible as this does. But, get rid of all of these extra threads everywhere. Okay, let me get my sewing machine out of the way. Okay, so here we have the worst looking cover I've ever made. But it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not too bad. Could be worse. So like I said, it's like artsy, right? So I ended up covering all the edges on this one with some crochet. So that's probably what I would do with this one. Although I kind of like how it looks like jagged like that, honestly. And so there you have it. It's a pretty squishy cover. That's it. If you want to cover this with something, maybe you have like some pretty lace, like a, what do you call it, like a placemat, lace placemat or something you can put over the top. If you crochet, put something like that over the top, or maybe, I don't know what else you could put, like some doilies. You can do anything you want with it. It's just kind of a blank canvas at this point. But then before you do that, it depends on if you want, so like I sewed the signature. You can kind of see right here, like one signature. But what I sewed all the signatures in while it looked like this, and then after everything was done, I covered it. So it covered the stitches. I feel like this would have been hard to bind through, so maybe I can make like one quick little signature and just make this a quick one signature thing so I can show you how I sew it in. Okay, so I made like the quickest little signature that I could make. So it's pretty small, it's not decorated at all. If you want to see how to make like an actually good signature, I will link below in my little golden book junk journal tutorials. I have how to pick out pages for signatures, and I also have how to decorate signatures before you bind them in. So I'll link those both down below if you want to see that, because I pretty much use the same method for any type of journal that I make, not just little golden books. So I will link those below if you care to see that, if you haven't already. But this one's just really quick so I can show you how to bind this in. Now, obviously, this is too wide for these signatures. I didn't have any big pieces of paper, but actually, if I was going to do more, it would be good, because it would give you room for the spine. Let me just show you what I mean. So I get my binding kit out. You just need some wax thread. Well, I would probably use colorful. It doesn't really matter. This is just what I have on hand, so this is what I'm going to use. You take 3 times the height. Get your awl. Get your needle. Now, when I made the other one, I didn't even measure this. I didn't make a template or anything. What I did was I just lined this up here where I wanted it, and then I marked, well, I think I did measure a little bit. So 4, let's see, we'll put a dot at 4, and then at 1 and 1. And yeah, I'm just going to do the same thing. 1, 4, and 1. Simple as that. You can make a template if you want. if you're doing multiple signatures, you might want to make a template. But see, if you're going to do multiple, you're going to put this at the edge like this and do it that way. And then you'll sew this one in, and then you'll put the next signature on top. Fold it this way, it'll be a little higher. You'll mark the dots there. Then you put the next signature on top. Check here. It'll kind of show you where you need to go with that. Here, mark like that. See, let me see if I can show you on the one that I made. I don't know if you're really able to see, but I just sewed them straight into, and I did measure them. I just put this one, I put where I needed it, and then the next signature, I made sure to hold it like this so that they were stacked on top, and then I marked the lines where I needed that one. Then for this one, the same thing. I made sure to hold it like this so that they were straight. Mark the lines. Held it like this, make sure it's straight. Held it like this. And I didn't measure anything, so they're not evenly spaced apart or anything. So this makes for a great crochet book because I put some stitch markers here and there's some like yarn needles in. Keep your hook right there. Anyways, let's clip these. I'm just gonna stab them, not worrying about it. There's also a binding tutorial I already have, so where I go into a lot more explanation if you need to see that. And there's lots of good tutorials out there for binding. I'm just going to do this real quick, and then you can kind of see. Did I even do that in the middle? I did not. Okay, so what you should actually do before you poke the holes is line this up where you want it. And then where the holes are on there, use this to mark. That's what you should actually do. Disregard everything I said earlier. Do it like this. That makes more sense. Then when you lay the next one down, do the same thing. Lay it where you need it, then mark the holes. Makes a lot more sense. Okay, we'll just poke these. Okay, we're just doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. You can do more if you want. Go through the middle, leave a tail. Then you go through the middle hole here. It's a little tricky with the foam, but it's not too bad. Then you can either go top or bottom. I usually go bottom. So you go through the bottom hole here. Then you go through the bottom hole here. Go all the way to the top hole. Go through this top hole. Then back through the middle. And back through this middle. And then make sure one string's on this side and one string's on this side, and just tighten tie a square knot, and you're good to go. In this one, I left the tails all long because I like how it looks. But this one, I'm just going to clip them off. There you go. It's bound in. That's how you do it. So if I was going to do another one, I wouldn't have put this exactly in the middle. It would have gone where I put those holes before, because you want it to be flush with this, if that makes sense. I just thought of something to add really quick. If you wanted to do like 3 signatures, you could totally sew this one in the middle and then figure out what space you want and put one on the top and one on the bottom. That way it would still work out. Instead of stacking them all like I showed you before, you could totally do the middle one and then be like, oh, I want like 1/8 of an inch between, do 1/8 of an inch on this side and 1/8 of an inch on this side, and it'll come out good. So just wanted to throw that in there really quick because I just thought of it. There you go. And then you can just go ahead and cover this because that looks terrible. I hope this is a good tutorial. I'm doing a really bad job explaining today, but I'm just kind of in a rush and I just wanted to make sure I made a video this week. But if you need me to go into more detail, let me know and I'll try to make a better video. But anyways, just make something to put on top, glue it down, bam, you have a little book. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, thank you so much to all my new subscribers. I'm like blown away that most of you are from the Facebook group, and thank you so much for following me. I hope you find inspiration here and stay crafty. Bye.